Okay, so the lesson here, I'm on high point, so it's hard to tell in the camera, but maybe you can get a little bit of a sense. This is a really high ridge, highest ridge for, I don't know, a long ways. And this was an old logging deck. You can tell a lot of the brush around that we cleared with a bulldozer. So you have some compaction issues from us. And then naturally driving over it, right? And then also the compaction of it being a logging deck. So if you're not familiar with what a logging deck is after they harvest timber, they have to store it somewhere until the logging truck comes, right? So they'll have their feller buncher up here, or just pickup trucks, depending on the logging crew. And typically a big arm, like a crane, I don't know the technical term for it, but it'll pick the logs up and put it onto a truck, or sometimes the trucks will have something as well. But the point is, it's a lot of weight on the ground. So this to me is exciting, because this is an area where if I can improve the soil quality here through this big lane here, boy, I should be able to do it anywhere. I mean, you're high up, compacted soil and heavy clay. I mean, like I always say, this is the foothills of Appalachia. This is not central Ohio naturally black dirt, right? So I have to continually use the things that we always talk about, right? Diversity in plantings, legumes, grains, all of that good stuff. But what I want to mention about this field is, because I know there's a good deer density, on this side of the farm, but also I know that compaction's always going to be something I struggle with here, or at least in the foreseeable future. So although I have come up with a really happy mix, right, a really comfortable mix, I've made balanced carbon to nitrogen ratios, this is one of those areas where I said, hold on a second, I know that this compaction is a little bit of an issue here. So I will then adjust that mix. This is the beauty of going to a seed mill to get your mixes, and maybe doing a little bit heavier on the brassica side of things, right? So especially radish, they make beautiful tubers. And also I'm going to pump nitrogen into here in the spring and summertime. So that's going to be done through clovers, and I'll use some buckwheat to fix some phosphorus. But most importantly, the idea of manipulating your seed blend to the specific goals of your field is very important to me, and I have learned that. So sometimes I'll get my mix, and then I might add 5 or 10 pounds of radish seed, right? Daikon tillage radish or something like that. And after my plots are established, or my fields are established, or my cover crop in my garden is established, I can simply go and treat those problem areas. Whether it be grains, whether it be brassicas, whether it be radish only, just in those areas where I feel like, oh, I could fit a couple more radish tubers there, and I can hand seed that. I can put it in a broadcast spreader, and the same idea with rye. So this works with your garden. If you're seeing, you got a good cover crop mix on your garden, but you're like, gosh, I want to bust that compaction up, reduce the grains, increase the radish content, or vice versa, and you can continue to manipulate it till you get to where you want to go. And you're probably always going to have a little bit of a dance, but that way you have that flexibility. And that's why, like, I use Merit seed a lot they're in Berlin, Ohio, Central Ohio. Just great people, tons of varieties of seeds. Greencoverseed.com. You can order stuff up there. Shipping's always a son of a gun on seeds, but just continue to play around, manipulate, focus on diversity through different root structures in the soil. But that's my tip here, is when you have a problem like this area is compaction, what am I going to do there? Well, I want to get more tubers relative to any other crops, and then also continue that diversity as well with other crops. But I think that having some tubers really break up some of the compaction over the next couple of years, surrounded by diversity, is going to be helpful. So that's my tip. Hope you guys are enjoying your wonderful day. Stay safe out there. Thanks for tuning in.